You have a life. You have a purpose here. That's what you're here to do. And this is in the way of you finding what's right for you, doing what's best for you, and finding a self-esteem that allows you to stand up to the world. Go against it, okay?
Okay.
Just start doing that. And keep a diary that you show to the new therapist. It'll make all the difference. Sometimes you just have to go against things that you think are crazy. When things are crazy and you keep on doing that, you reinforce it, and guess what? You become crazy. You shouldn't do that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. David Viscott here, and it's an interesting show today.
It is.
You know, I want to comment just briefly. You know, sometimes obsessive-compulsive disorders can be controlled by just going against it. And you really need to give it a shot. I mean, it sounds simplistic. I mean, there are always reasons for it, and usually the reason behind an obsessive-compulsive disorder is some hidden anger over a hurt that wasn't expressed. And the anger takes place in the mind, and what you try to do is undo the anger. Someone hurts you, you're angry at them, you don't express it, and you wish them dead, and you say, oh no, I can't wish them dead, so I wish, well, maybe the gas is on in their house. What does that mean? You wish them to be gassed. So you're continuously shutting on the gas, because what you want to do is you want to be sure that your angry thought doesn't kill them. It's magical thinking, like your thinking makes a difference. Go ahead.
We have Michael, and he feels like he's suffering from PMS. He's on line number 5.
A lot of us do, pal. I am Michael.
How you doing there?
I'm good. How old are you, Michael?
I'm 26.
And you're in a relationship.
I am in a relationship for a year.
And this is your first big relationship. Will you
without
live
reservations, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Talk to me about PMS.
Well, I feel so unworthy. Everybody has these big problems.
PMS for a guy is a
Well,
big problem, let me tell you.
well, here's the situation. It started out being something that's a change in attitude, and you just kind of cover it up in the early stages of relationship. Because,
Cover it up? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you just kind of go along with the flow.
Give me the change of attitude. What flow? The flow stops, pal, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What happens?
And then later on...
Well, tell me what happens. Let me hear the experience that you go through.
Well, I guess it stems from her past, because she didn't come from a good home life, and she's been treated rather badly since she's been out on the West Coast. And it just seems that all her fears come rushing at her.
Okay, you're indicating that she left home and the parents wanted to control her, and that she's still attached to them out of her dependent needs, and her guilt makes her feel angry at herself, and she explodes at the person she loves most and trusts most, which is you, and she loses those controls at the time of her hormonal imbalance. Is that what you're saying?
True. Now, what compounds it is if she has some alcohol in her, then all of a sudden, then... you know, and I'm no saint either. You know, I have my problems.
Wait. Alcohol?
Yes.
How much does she drink?
I wouldn't say too much. It just happens to be, you know, late at night, a couple beers or whatever.
And when she drinks, what happens to her?
It just seems to amplify it.
Michael, she has a drinking problem.
Yes, she does.
Okay. She has an alcoholic drinking problem, because she uses the alcohol to medicate bad feelings about her life. That's an alcoholic pattern. Whether she's an alcoholic right now, she has a pattern that is very dangerous, because she drinks and all of a sudden it's like a different her appears. Hello?
You're right.
Okay. She's got an alcoholic drinking problem. And how often does she drink?
Heavily, or just drink, period?
Maybe she's an alcoholic, huh?
Okay, well, here's the problem with that.
What's the problem with that? I don't have a problem with that. You got a problem with that?
I have a problem with that, yes.
Well, answer the question. How often does she drink heavily?
Heavily, not too often.
How often does she drink heavily?
Probably every couple weeks, maybe a month.
And when she drinks heavily, does she get drunk?
Yes.
So she gets drunk every about twice a month, right?
Right.
Okay. Maybe a little more.
No.
No.
I don't know. I'm talking about falling down drunk either. Just, you know.
Most drunks don't fall down.
Right.
They drive. And how often does she get drunk enough so that you're not talking to a person who's 100% there? Tell the truth, don't hide, and don't protect yourself. 2 or 3 times a week, right?
No,
No?
no, no.
When she's had a drink in her and she's angry at you, is there any reasoning with her?
No, not at first, not until it's a knockdown, drag out. Then at the end, then she calms down.
And how often does that happen?
A couple times a month.
Okay, she's got a severe drinking problem. Period. It's affecting her life. It's affecting you to the point that you're calling me. You're in denial. I mean, you're trying to minimize it. The truth is, you walk around talking to yourself a lot of the time, right, pal?
Right.
And you wonder what's going on.
I end up picking on her is what happens.
When she's sober the next morning and can listen to you, you go after her, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the world of alcoholism. That's what this is. And that's how it feels.
So how do I present this to her without her feeling like I'm attacking her?
Well, the first thing you do is you join Al-Anon, in which you'll meet dozens of people like yourself. Do you want to go ahead with this relationship?
Yeah.
You do?
I'm just saying, yeah.
Do you want to go ahead with this relationship, yes or no?
I think so.
You think so. You're not sure, in other words.
No.
Okay. So, does she want to go ahead with this relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my biggest fear, is that she becomes, I become not solely the part of her happiness, but that how her and I get along depends.
Finish the sentence you were starting with. The fear is that she becomes
dependent on me.
She's dependent period.
Yes, she is.
Okay, and she's going to become dependent on you. And she depends on you to clean up the emotional mess that she creates.
Right.
So she's an alcoholic, and you are enabling her. Boy, you didn't want to hear this morning, did you?
It's not what I thought was a problem, that's for sure.
Well, what else is it? I mean, buzz, there we are. Join Al-Anon. Tell her you called me. Tell her I said she's alcoholic. Tell her she needs to join AA.
I told her I was calling you for the PMS part. She said that's great, but I wasn't
PMS
expecting.
isn't the problem. Right? If the PMS disappeared, you'd still have the alcoholism, right?
Right.
Thank you. Get thee to Al-Anon, get her to AA, and tell her that's what I said. And if she wants to talk about it, I'd be pleased to discuss it with her.
Would you?
Sure.
Okay.
Stay on the line. One of our trustworthy screeners will take your name and give you a number for her to call in, but this is the problem.
Appreciate it, Dr. Viscott.
I want to ask one other question.
Yes.
Her parents drink?
No, they're
No.
extreme. They're Christian fanatics.
They're Christian alcoholics, pal.
Yeah.
So we don't know the answer to that. Okay?
Okay.
Stay on. One of our screeners will pick up the line and help you out on this. Do I shut this off? And then
Yeah,
Good.
shut that off.
Well, things aren't always the way you think they are, but, when a person drinks to become drunk on a regular basis, that's not drinking.
But I'm constantly amazed when someone calls in with a really specific problem, like his was, that his girlfriend had very bad PMS, and within what seems like about a minute, you turn that completely around to
Dottie,
another problem.
Hear what I'm saying. A person comes in with a symptom. A symptom can fit under a dozen different diagnoses. And all I'm trying to do is find out another symptom and another pattern and feel where the pattern fits best. PMS is a problem. But when alcoholism is in the picture, PMS is usually the excuse that the man feels more comfortable talking about because he was afraid of damaging her by telling the truth. Go ahead.